Hello, Board. Brady, Shinn here from the Economic Development Team, and this item concerns consent agenda items related to the Adare Manor. Please note that this presentation's factual content is identical for both resolutions 1674 and 1676. The Adare Manor had two participation program agreements, one for a Type 2 General Assistance Agreement and one for a Type 4 Capital Improvements Reimbursement Agreement. It is clear to understand the resolutions in context of the overall project. However, since we have two agreements, the agency is going by the book and completing an amendment and resolution for both agreements. A quick overview on how the Adare project went and why there is a need for amendments. The Adare is complete, open, and leasing up well. The participant has provided all the necessary cost documentation, and the agency has completed its review. The agency has determined the project has nearly $565,000 of eligible expenses. Altogether in the existing agreements, the not to exceed totaled nearly $760,000. However, the Type 4 agreement, which constituted nearly $280,000 of that total, concerned expected Idaho Power utility infrastructure costs on the project. Ultimately, Idaho Power did not require Adare Manor to install the added electrical capacity. If the agreements were processed and left unchanged, the Adare Manor would have some major issues. First, almost $80,000 in actual eligible expenses would not be reimbursed. Second, due to the downward levy rate trends from Ada County, since these agreements were executed in late 2017 and early 2018, Adare Manor would likely not receive even the $480,000 of its not to exceed in the Type 2 agreement. In total, the Adare Manor could potentially receive as little as $360,000 or $560,000 worth of actual eligible expenses. An important consideration too is that the actual eligible expenses is less than the original budgeted amounts for each agreement. Please see the table in this slide on the right for a conceptual breakdown of those figures. Understanding that the Type 2's not to exceed amount of $480,000 cannot absorb 100% of the project's actual eligible expenses, and that there is nearly $280,000 budgeted in T4 costs that were ultimately not required, the agency and its legal advisor, Elam and Burke, have found a solution. Use the same eligible expense exhibit for each agreement. Then, process out each agreement as originally contemplated. Pay $280,000 immediately as per the Type 4 agreement, and then pay out the remainder based on the tax increment revenue through the Type 2 agreement over the 4-year term. The agency and Elam and Burke feel that amending each agreement in this manner is the best possible solution regarding meeting CCDC's financial commitment expectation for an affordable project like the Adare Manor, and there is precedent from other Type 4 projects reimbursing for eligible expenses that are not solely utility infrastructure related. Please see the table on this slide to understand the actual payment schedule for both agreements under the amendments. Please see the suggested motion above regarding Resolution 1674 for the Type 2 agreement on Adare Manor. Again, both agreements are undergoing the same conceptual changes as a matter of completeness and redundancy.